Okay, with that, I'm going to call this meeting to order at 5:06 p.m. Hi, everyone. I guess, okay. Amy, you're here, so would you mind doing the roll call for us?
Yes. Okay. So, President Naomi,
Present.
VP Ramses,
Present.
Key President Mark,
Present.
Director of Finance Zach,
Present.
Director of Legislative Affairs Jacob,
Present.
Director of Public Relations Nick, absent. Director of Communications Amy, present. Senator David,
Present.
Senator Soule. Wait, Soule is not here, right? In here anymore. My bad. Senator Rachel, Senator Reed, Senator Stacey,
Present.
Senator Marykay,
Present.
Senator Hamza, Senator Beheshta. I just talked with Beheshta about joining, and I just need to send her the link. Senator Sasha, not here. Senator Epsoon, and Senator Oscar.
Sasha has an excuse absence.
Excuse, okay.
Mhm.
So there's 8 out of 17 members that's present.
Okay, so quorum is just like narrowly met. So congrats, everyone. Moving on to adoption of the agenda. If I could just get a thumbs up from everyone, either like a visual, like with your actual thumb, or just the, yeah. If you if you support approving the agenda. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing all thumbs up, so we're good. The agenda has been adopted. Moving on to approval of the minutes. Hi, Beheshta. Moving on to approval of the minutes. We are not approving minutes today, so our minutes from the last meeting will be approved at this Friday's meeting. Moving on to chair message. I'm not really going to say anything since I want to keep this meeting short for y'all. Moving on to advisor's message, Brett will be here soon, but moving on to public comment. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to make a comment? Okay, hearing and seeing none, we're going to move on to the first item under new business. Well, the only item under new business, actually, and that is the resolution packet discussion. So what I'm hoping to do here is share screen. I hope you guys have all gotten to look at either the older, the first resolution packet, or the one that was published last night. Okay, is this working? Yes. Okay. So can I just get someone who says they can see the screen right now?
I can see it.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so I hope you guys have all taken a look at this. I want us to just go like one by one through this and you know, kind of see where we're all at here, just a yes or no. You'll see my own notes on there, so hope you guys don't mind that, but just kind of how I roll. So yeah, so with that, let's move on to the first one.
Chair,
Yeah, Jacob, go ahead.
are we also going to vote for how the delegate should vote for the candidates for president at GA? President and VP and all that?
Oh man, yeah, we should totally do that. And that is my fault because I didn't even think about that. That will not be at today's meeting, but we can get that on another agenda because I believe the actual GA, it's like in late March, so we will have time to do that, and we can get that done at a normal meeting. I think it shouldn't take too long.
Cool.
Yep, sounds good. Okay, so I don't want to do like a full, like everybody popcorn reads or anything, but I want you guys to have a general idea of what this is. So I hope, again, like I think I said this before, but I hope you guys have taken a look on this. For those who have looked at this already, read through or skimmed through, what are all your thoughts on this first agenda? Are we in favor of supporting this?
Can you scroll down to the resolve statements?
Oh, I think so. I was trying to make it smaller, but I don't think I can do that on here. Okay, so. Okay, there you go.
I kind of like it because I kept it kind of unspecific.
Yeah.
Although they did note a code, but I think they're keeping it unspecific, but they're trying to do the same thing that we did, where we navigated ed code requirements to allow for disabled students to be on the board.
Mhm. I thought this was a pretty good one too. So yeah, me personally, I'm in favor of this one. So yeah. And then this one, by the way, if you guys didn't see, this one and the next one are both written by our student trustee, Tony Schiffmeyer. Yeah. Okay. So now you got a chance to look at that. Let's see. So I didn't put in that we're formally voting, because that's not really how I pictured this meeting going. But I do want to get like a general sense of, where we all stand on this issue. So you guys can again do that same thumbs up if you're in support of this resolution. And Amy, I cannot see the screen, so I'm gonna depend on your minutes that you kind of see that there's like a unanimous, a majority of of folks that are thumbs upping this.
Chair,
Okay.
Jacob, yeah.
should we maybe do, if like we hear a pro for a specific resolution, then we also then open the floor for a con, and then up to 3 pros maybe before, without hearing like a con, just open the floor to some people if they want to speak against any of them.
Oh yeah. Well, I was thinking we can have an open discussion that can be either, whatever thoughts, whether it's positive or negative. But yeah, if you guys are all in favor of doing it more like that. Yeah. So we've heard some pros on this. So is there anybody who wants to kind of give some? Is that what you mean, Jacob? Like just open it, like specifically give room for people to. Huh?
Just saying, like, because if there's no one that wants to go against it, then we know everyone's for it.
Okay, yeah, that probably works better. Yeah. Okay, is there anyone who has any cons on this resolution? Okay, hearing, and I can't see you guys, so seeing none. I'm gonna say that y'all are pretty much in support of this resolution. So we're gonna move on to the next one, and this is the affordable low-income housing, also written by our student trustee, Tony Schiffmeyer. And I'll move on to the resolve statement. So so the last two there. So does anybody have any pros or cons on this specific resolution?
I'm pro for the idea. I think it's good.
Awesome. This is actually an issue that I'd wanted to do for a while, so I'm also this is one that's pretty high up on my priorities. So I'll say I'm pro on this, but obviously anybody has any. I know that for some people that the reality of this might play a role in this if they think that this is not going to come to anything, which I'd recommend. It's still good to try, but that may be an issue for some people. Okay. Any other Any other pros or cons on this resolution? Okay, what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna say, if you guys, we're gonna do an assumed approval, I guess, of this. So since I heard no cons, I'm gonna assume you guys are all mostly in favor of this resolution. So we're gonna move on from there. Oh, what is this one? Oh, here. Okay, this one, yeah, the free period products and movement towards menstrual equality, equity. Sorry guys, end of the day. So again, anyone who wants to say anything about this? Oh, hang on, I'm gonna scroll down to the results section. This is another thing that I'm also totally psyched about, this resolution. This is one of the things that actually one of the reasons why I ran for student senate president. So this is where I stand on the issue.
Hey, Chair.
Yep. Oh, Brett, hi.
Yeah, hi. I've been listening the last few minutes. I've been trying to wrap up that last meeting, but this resolution, however you all decide to take action on, can you do me? Actually, I have it. Never mind. I was going to say to get in contact with the Health and Wellness Center, just to get their thoughts on it. You know, whoever the delegate's going to be, they might be able to have some more input on, you know, I'm not saying to amend it or suggesting it, but if something came up that the Health and Wellness Center thought was missing or needed to be changed, that might be a good person to reach out to.
Yeah. Let me write that down actually. Oh. Okay, awesome. Anyone else want to say anything about this resolution? Okay, seeing like nobody has anything to say, I'm going to assume that you guys are all in favor or are in agreement with this resolution. So moving on to the next one. Okay, this is, oh, sorry, you guys, you got to see my notes again. So term limits for the California school districts. Well, obviously you guys can see my notes. So that's a little weird. Yeah, so anyone have any pros or cons for this that they want to mention?
I don't know that necessarily putting term limits on school board positions is a great idea.
So can you repeat that? Sorry.
It's a con. I don't see any reason why it should be limited.
Okay,
That's
so you
just-
guys saw the whereas, and there's the resolved. So the resolved statement is proposing to have like a lifetime limit of 12 years, basically. Yeah, I also kind of I'm leaning towards their same point, Jacob. This whole thing about where it's at the first whereas statement, it says whereas serving as a school board member should not be a career. I didn't see them say why it should not be a career, and you know, I don't necessarily agree with it. So the only thing I highlighted, I think you guys can you guys can see that, is where it talks about opening the doors to big money and special interest groups, which could be a concern. It's not something I have seen, and it's also not something I saw like that they actually had data for in the whereas statements. So I didn't see any like background behind that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of leaning against this one.
I don't see any like. I mean, personally, like doing this, I haven't seen any like people that would be controlled by big money or like special interests. Like a lot of people just do this out of like volunteering their time.
Yeah, that's kind of how I saw it too. But obviously, you know, if anybody else Just totally open. You guys are no judgment here if you're leaning against something I said or Jacob said or so anyone else on the board said. So if anyone sees like a con with if anyone sees a pro for this one, feel free to mention it. Okay, I'm not hearing anything. So from the only comment I've heard, really, it seems like we are mostly not in favor of this.
Sure.
Yeah, yes, go ahead.
We have a few questions. Well, a question in the
yes,
chat.
sorry. Yeah, I can't see the chat and I can't see your guys' faces right now with the shared screen on.
No worries. We had just
yeah,
asked. Yeah, we
okay.
just asked what, Stacey first asked why it's within our scope to, I guess, vote on this. And Jacob said it's because we have a say in admin. And I asked someone, or I guess I can ask you to elaborate on this, on what that means. And it was agreed by Marykay.
Yeah, so we're obviously not voting to make this, like, to actually have this happen, to set the term limits. We're voting so that the SSCCC knows that where we stand on this issue, and the SSCCC can lobby to make what we want in the what is stated that we want in the resolutions to come about. Does that, yeah. Is that kind of answering anything there?
Yeah, that clarified for me. Personally, I'm not opposed to it.
Not opposed to the term limits.
There's no cons for me. I'm for it.
Do you want to vote on this one?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's vote on this one since it's, yeah. Okay. Amy, can you just ask for people to do well, okay, I guess I'm asking if you can if you can see who is giving a thumbs up. And again, a thumbs up is saying you support this resolution, which means you support adding that term limit of up to 12 years, and not supporting it, no vote or thumbs down. Oh no, they don't have thumbs down on this, do they? Or like a no thumbs up sign, I guess, is saying you don't support adding the term limits and you're fine with how it is right now with a no term limit system.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so if everyone can give let's see, what are the reactions? Okay, if you could give a thumbs up if you support this, and a that face that has like the O kind of mouth position for a no vote. I hope I'm remembering that correctly, that's on there.
Well, I'm only seeing 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2. Including my vote, it's 6 yes in favor.
6 in favor of adding the term limits.
Yes.
Okay, so then in that case, our delegate will vote yes on this resolution. Okay, thank you guys. Moving on to the next one. Advocacy for ethnic studies. Okay, I'm gonna move down to the resolved section there. Okay, give you guys a chance to look at that. So I think this is pretty straightforward, especially for people who are used to like the I get say system and or just used to be, well, okay, yeah. So are there any comments on this one? Positive or negative, either way?
I'd be for it if it was like getting rid of one of the I get C requirements and adding this instead, but I don't really like the idea of adding another requirement to the I get C. But if it was like in, one of the boxes that's already there, I'd be for it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would make it harder for people to meet their I get to requirements, adding another thing. What is it right now? Isn't it like that you have to have one thing from, no, you have to have one thing from the humanities and then, oh man, I can't remember. Sorry.
You just need 60 units in total to transfer for IGETI requirements, I believe.
16, it's okay.
Is it 60? I think it's 60.
Yeah, I think 60 is, I think, right.
Yeah, so much. I agree with Jacob on that. I think if replacing another class, that would be a good idea, but adding on to the class load already, it's going to be a little bit too difficult for students, I believe. And also speaking based on my experience.
Right, yeah. Very good point, both of you, and thanks for that. Anyone else want to say anything about that?
Chair, do you have any more information in regard to this? Do you know what their exact plan is? Are they going to replace or remove or add on?
So I don't know anything more than you. Everything that they're advocating for is right here in their resolve statement. So what we can say, what can happen is that whoever our delegate is makes like an amendment during the General Assembly to add something like that this wouldn't replace one of the boxes, one of those IGETI requirement, or that it would replace one of the IGETI boxes and not be an additional kind of category that it has to be filled. But this is currently what they have. So they haven't made given any more information as to whether it's in addition or replacing something.
Chair.
Yeah.
Two things. One, I don't think that they allow amendments on the floor anymore because it took too long. And the second one is that it says AB 331. So
Yeah,
I
I
can
see.
look up AB 331 and see if it adds an additional one or not. And then that will mean what they're intending by this.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, if you can look that up, we can move on to the next one for now and circle back to this. Okay. Yes.
I was going to ask if anyone else attended the TAS meeting about this issue.
What was this? The TAS?
The District Academic Senate meeting about this. I believe it was in the last month or so. They held a meeting about this.
Okay. I'm checking. I'm going to try to do something differently here.
All right, I'll dig up the agenda. I'm pretty sure there was a DAS meeting about this within the last couple of months.
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a little bit. I'm going to add another Zoom box because I miss seeing you guys' faces. So I'm going to grab another computer here. So Jacob, do you have anything about that? Did you find the Medina bill?
So from what I'm reading an EdSource article on it. And from what I gather, it would be adding a requirement of an ethnic studies course, and it would have to specifically be an ethnic studies course. It wouldn't be just like in another box that you could do. It would be, you have to take an ethnic studies course.
Okay. Okay. So that is following your guys's reasoning there. So do you guys want, so if you could show a thumbs up of kind of if you stand on this or do that the circle person there. So the thumbs up would be if you support this if you would vote yes on this bill, if you want the delegate to vote yes on this bill, which would add the ethnic studies requirement, or the not smiley face, the whatever other face it is, would be you voting no on this. Okay. Okay, so it seems like most people, well, okay, we're kind of 50-50 here. Let's see. Could you do it one more time? I'm sorry.
Ramses was the fourth no.
Ramses is the fourth now. Okay, so I see 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, so it's okay. 5 no's, 3 yeses. Okay. Okay. Then our delegate will vote no on this. That's okay. Let's see.
I think I saw more than 3 yeses. See, the issue is the reaction, it goes away after like.
Goes away. How about we just do instead yes or no, just type yes or no in the box following a yes or no, and then put ethnicity studies. Okay, so I counted 4 no's. So again, we're back to the voting no on this, which is totally fine. Okay, moving on to the next one. Sorry about that. Okay, so the next one, it's taking me a little bit to get the screen up and running, but the next one is minimum qualifications for the SBA advisor. So the result statements, I'm just going to read this, and then hopefully when we get to the next one, I'll be more prepared. Be it resolved that the Student Senate for California Community Colleges form a task force of students and advisors to develop an effective practices document for advising student body associations. Resolve that the Student Senate for California Community Colleges communicate these effective practices to the California Community College Student Affairs Association, the Chancellor's Office, and all 116 California Community College Vice Presidents of Student Services or their equivalent. And resolve that the Student Senate for California Community College strongly urge student body associations annually to communicate with their Vice President of Student Services or their equivalent the importance of implementing the advisor effective practices on an ongoing basis. Brett, I'm wondering if you want to say anything on this.
Sure. I'm rereading the resolution just so I know exactly what it's stating.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to listen as you go, and I was like, hold on, I need to reread this one. So
understandable.
So let me ask a question, and anyone can hop. Are they asking for the advisor to report to the Vice President of Student Services? I heard.
No, I don't think so. I think they're asking for what did they say? Task force to be created that.
See, my concern with this is that it's like this task force is going to create the document that says we think advisors need to have this, and you're going to vote in favor for it, and we're going to do it on behalf of you, but we don't know what the task force is really going to say yet.
That's true. We don't know if what they say becomes actually the like the practices followed. Is that what you're kind of?
Yeah, it's just saying like we're gonna create a task force to create a document that you'll then approve, and that's putting our name behind it, and we don't know what the document is.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I'll speak. I'll just speak freely, kind of where I'm at, and I think other advisors are at. Again, I'm just one person here, but honestly, I think advisors, and you've seen it with me, we're asked to do a lot of other stuff, and especially right now, I'm on an email chain with other advisors throughout the state, and I hear the same things that I'm going through, right? We're asked to oversee this or oversee that. And it takes away from what's actually in our job description, which is to be the advisor for ASB. Like pre-pandemic, I would say 50% of my time was strictly ASB. And I stressed to you in August, for those of you that came to the orientation, that's still my goal, and it is. But I can honestly tell you, I haven't been doing 50% of my time in ASB just because I get pulled in a million directions. So I don't know if the task force would recommend, like, someone needs to be 50%, at least 50% advisor, and then 50% whatever else. I don't know what that task force is going to say, like you all mentioned. Honestly, like, I'm still trying to reread through the resolution. I want to make sure whoever authored it, I'm trying to get what they're asking for, but from an advisor's perspective, there's bigger concerns than a task force. I'll just leave it at that.
The one of the authors is Anjali Patel, who was the RAD for Region 2 until recently.
Okay. And so every campus is different. Like Sierra, they have a faculty member who's the ASB advisor, which means over the summer.
She's a Sierra student.
She's a Sierra student, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that that's the reason behind this resolution, but I just know that they have a faculty advisor. So that means they're off during the summer, which means no trainings, no orientations until whenever they come back, because their contract states that. Some advisors, right, we're here all the time. So honestly, like, a task force just means more meetings, takes away from connecting with students, hearing student concerns, trying to get students to do what you all do right now. This is just my perspective. You all are the ones voting on this, but a task force is not the best solution. I know I'm supposed to be like impartial and not persuade, but there's other things I would say there's other things more pressing than a task force.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Looks like I'm seeing some agreements here in chat. Is that what I'm seeing? Okay.
Oh, sorry. Can I add one last thing? I swear it'll be quick.
Totally fine.
Just because I see Seesaws on here, right? I'm a member of that association. They do advisor trainings. We were supposed to have one this last summer, but it got canceled with everything going on. I'll be honest, those really help, right? I can talk to other advisors and like, how'd you do that, right? How did you get this budget to give out gift cards for food? And like, that to me is a better resource than a task force that's going to recommend whatever. So I'll leave it at that. I'll shut up now. Thanks for listening.
Sure. Sorry, my dad's in the background. Okay, so if you guys can do the same thing you did last time, a yes vote would be in favor of this, creating, that task force, and a no vote would be in favor of keeping it like us, not supporting this resolution. Okay. Okay, so it looks like we're all really in favor of not supporting this resolution. Okay, so with that, we'll move on to the next one, which is menstrual sustainability, access, and equity. And you can read the resolve statements right here. Are you in a meeting?
Chair,
Yes, yeah.
is it okay to ask questions at this point?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
I
I'm a
was-
little distracted here.
I was wondering if this resolution pertains only to disposable menstrual products or if they're looking into things like cups and sponges. Just thinking of our landfills. Sorry.
Yeah, no. It's a good point. It's really all that's in this report. So if you don't see anything that specifically mentions the use of sustainable menstrual products, that's probably they're not specifying it here.
Okay, I did not. Thank you.
Chair?
Lori, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, just as a member of the public,
It's okay.
in
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
resolves, it does say sustainable, at least the
Yeah,
last
right.
line.
Here. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm seeing it.
And the first resolve in the last line also.
Sustainability. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing it. Okay. Yeah, so it does say, obviously, thank you, Lori. So it says sustainability. So it's all kind of, to me at least, it seems pretty open-ended, which I suppose is usefulness, but yeah. Anyone want to add anything about that? Okay. Hearing and hearing and seeing no comments on this, if you guys could again follow the same practice, yes or no, menstrual, what is it? Menstrual equity. Okay, of the responses I've seen so far, it looks like the majority are voting yes for this menstrual equity resolution. So our delegate will be voting yes as well. Okay, moving on to the next one, establishment of gender studies requirement. Okay, so there are the resolved statements.
Chair.
Yeah, go ahead. Mhm.
I'll start with similar concerns as
Yeah.
don't want to. I mean, I think it's a good idea, but to add more requirements, because that's two different courses. But you know,
Still a valid concern. I get it. We don't want to make the graduating or getting the degrees or the IGETC certification, we don't want to make any of that harder, but we, it doesn't mean you're not in favor of gender studies. It just means you don't want to make it harder. I get, yeah. I think since this is pretty much following the same concerns as the ethnicity studies resolution, we can, unless anybody has anything else to add on this, we can already go to the like yes or no voting on this one. Okay, hearing and seeing no other any comments, concerns, or questions, if you guys can put yes or no for the gender studies resolution. Okay, so I'm seeing mostly no's. So we will have our delegate vote no as well. I want to thank you guys all again for being here. I know it's a bit tedious, the whole process, but it's important. So thank you guys. Moving on to bolstering student participation in shared governance. And there are the first part of the resolved statements. I'll give you a little space there.
So one thing just right off the bat, it says in resolve statement 1, it wants us to amend the education code.
Yeah, I see it.
Talks about 1, creating another committee, so more work to do. 2, it says that they want to compensate the people, and that goes against Los Rios policies, which means the Board of Trustees likely would not be on board with this. That makes a difference.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna scroll down here to the next resolved. Oops. Any other comments on this? Or questions, concerns, anything? Okay. Yeah.
I was just wondering if Advisor Sawyer could give us information. It seems to me, I remember there were some committees that students did get paid for attending.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, so those are ARC ones. And they're, how do I say this? Yes, ARC has some committees that the students are paid for their participation. Without getting into a whole long novel, some committees are paid, some aren't. It's specifically stated in the shared government docs. I'll be perfectly honest, it's been a problem getting students paid. I won't spill the tea on that at the moment, but I'm working with a few students to make sure that they got paid for their involvement in fall. But other campuses don't always have that luxury. That's a commitment ARC made. So yeah, so I don't know how other colleges across the state do it, but sorry, that was a long-winded answer. Yes.
Thank you, Brett. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions, comments, or concerns on this? Okay. With that, if you guys can put yes or no for what do we call? Let's call it shared governance. Let's call it shared governance. Okay, Beheshta, thank you. Thank you for coming today. Okay. With Beheshta gone, I don't think we have quorum anymore. Is that a problem? I mean, we're not really voting per se. Does Brett?
I show, counting not myself and not Lori, there's what, 9?
9. Okay. Really? Did we?
Because you're still a member, so That would be 9 out of 17. You still have it. But if someone else has to go, then yeah, then.
One of those people, so I'm in there twice.
Oh.
We have 8 people right now.
Sorry. So it's a special meeting. Honestly, the board's making recommendations for the delegate.
Yeah, we're not like doing any official voting, so I figured.
You're not
Yeah,
passing funds. Honestly, we're in a pandemic. Keep going. Try to, inform the delegate on how the board voted. I'll look into what SSCCC might say about it, but honestly, I don't think you have anything to worry about.
Yeah, okay, good. That's kind of where I was leaning towards. So
I think like if we didn't do this, it would have just been like a conversation between like you and the delegate anyway. So
yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, as long as quorum is met at the very beginning of roll call, somebody has to leave, then we should be fine because we're not voting. So
no, once someone leaves, quorum is no longer met.
Oh, okay, good to know.
But
Thanks.
yeah, no, it's we should just keep going though.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Okay, bolstering student participation, yes or no? You can put just put student participation yes or student participation no if you're in favor of supporting this bill or in favor of not supporting this bill. Resolution. Sorry, not bill. Oh, wait a second. If we're not voting, I'm allowed to put yes or no, right?
You're supposed to technically be like a tiebreaker vote.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, it's
it's okay, don't worry about it. Okay. Let's see. We'll move on to the next one. Student empowerment in hiring practices. Okay, move it to the resolve statements. Okay. I'll say this, I thought it was pretty cool that they're talking about having students participate in all hiring committees. It was something we talked about actually at a past student senate meeting here. So yeah, I think it's a good bill. I think it's a good resolution. But here we have the same problem that Jacob had mentioned earlier. To compensate students and to amend the ed code.
It'd be cool if it was like we then had just one student who would do the hiring committee stuff. That'd be a lot simpler.
Just have one student who's like the official hiring committee person.
Sure.
That would work.
I heard chair from someone.
Yeah, Marykay.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, just in response to the having just one student, I think it's really important to diversify voices. And a certain student might have a lot of experience in a certain topic, and one might have in another. So just having like when we would have hiring committees with different students, we all come from different backgrounds, and our perspectives are different. And something I might think about, someone else might not think about, and something someone else might think about, I might not think about to ask that question. Because we all come from different backgrounds, and things that are important to our communities are also different.
Thank you. That's a very good point. Okay. You guys have gotten to take a look at the resolved, and do you want to, anyone else that wants to say anything on this topic, on this resolution? Okay, hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to a yes or no in the comments, student hiring practices. Yes or no hiring practice? That's true. Hiring committees are a lot of work. Having served on a few myself, it is a long day. I was on a history department one last semester, and it was right on my finals day, on the day of one of my finals. So I was in the hiring committee first part of the morning. They let me leave to go take my final, and then I was right back in afterwards. Okay, David, thanks for coming today. Totally understood. Classes are the priority. Go, be free. Go, well, not be free. I mean, you're going to class, but. Okay. So it seems like yes, in favor of this hiring practices resolution. Awesome. Okay. Moving on to, oh yes, okay. Student leadership recognition in district governance. This one is interesting. You can see here the resolved statements talking about, you know, kind of a recognition award here, in that the award is $300 or more from the district's general fund. So
I like the idea.
anyone else want to say? You know, I think this one is very, I don't know. It's not. I will say this. It's not one of like my. I don't know if this would necessarily go down well with the district. Seems like they've got pretty tight pockets. Okay. Anyone else want to say anything on this resolution?
Naomi, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when you all are voting on resolutions, it's different than lobby day. So what I mean by that is, because this goes through regions and SSCCC, you don't have to be in fear of how the district might perceive something. Lobby day, you kind of do, because district is sponsoring the lobby day with their lobbying firm. So they're gonna have a more vested interest, but you all have the autonomy to, you know, you're advocating for students here in a different format. So I just wanted, in case people were worried about that, just clarify that.
Thank you, Brett. Yeah, that's a very good point. Thanks. Okay, sorry, I'm looking at the chat. More concrete and less cookies. Can you elaborate on that, Stacey?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I definitely think that there should be recognition and compensation for students who work hard in advocacy. That only makes sense. I'm not sure that it makes sense to draft individual bills for awards that serve this purpose, as opposed to just acknowledging students who work hard all the time as a more concrete infrastructural process to how we run our student government.
Okay. Sounds good. Anyone else want to say anything on this resolution? Okay, here you can see no other comments. Yes or no to student recognition? Okay, I've seen 4 yeses, so I think that's the majority right now of what we have. So yeah, okay. So our delegate will be voting yes on this. Moving on to food pantry support. I am going to, where is it? Resolved. Oh no, this is, okay, here. Where it says that the Student Senate for California Community Colleges advocate to student governments to host food pantries regularly. This is where I kind of have a pause on this, because ARC, we have the Beaver food pantry already, and I feel like trying to start another one with student government is really not, I think, the best way to allocate resources. And a better way would be to, here where they say that allocate to 5 to 10% of their annual fiscal budget to to our already operating food pantry, I think would be a better way of distributing stuff there, because just it's an already established thing. I don't know if trying to get a food pantry is necessarily I don't know if you guys,
Sure.
Go ahead.
So the first thing I was wondering is, so we don't pay anything for our food pantry, right? And then the second one was, I also think, instead of saying we want to pay for more food pantry, we could try and offer other services like a professional clothes closet or something like that.
So here it's not even just saying to allocate money to the food pantry. It's saying that student governments should be, hosting, their own food pantries regularly. And yes, so, that's already a service on campus. And like what Jacob said, meeting other needs in the community is probably a better, it may be a better use of student government resources there. Anyone else want to say anything on that? Auxiliary food pantries. Zach, you want to elaborate?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like it sounds like they want like a secondary, like a backup or like a secondary food pantry, or something basically sort of directly from the student senate and kind of, I guess, meeting certain student needs. But I'm like, I agree with you. I think that it would be better just putting more money into like the closet idea, or even back into the other pantry. Like,
So
I think it makes more sense.
I think one of the reasons that this bill is here is that that food pantry that we have at ARC, that's not standardized across the community colleges, as far as I'm aware. I don't know if every community college has that. So I think that's probably where the bill authors are coming from here, from a place that may not already have an established food pantry. But for schools that already do, it doesn't really make sense to try to, in my opinion, it doesn't make sense to create another one. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, Mark, go ahead.
So question, I mean, I agree with Student Senate not creating another food pantry, since ARC already has one that's adequate enough. Do you think that possibly Student Senate could create something on allocating funds to give to the food pantry? Is that, I hope that comes out clear enough, and maybe that's possible.
If that is something we want to do, we can definitely look at, the budgeting problems that may arise from, like, the restrictions there. But that would be at a different meeting. That's not, that would be at a normal student senate meeting that we could talk about that. Or, okay, if you guys I like that idea. Also, I'm seeing like the comments in the chat about the farmers market or campus garden. I think that's awesome. I think that's a great idea. I know we have the what is it, horticulture area on campus. So again, if you guys ever want to pick that up again, probably it would probably be something that happens more when we're in person. So for anyone running for student senate later, this may be an issue you guys want to pick up further. Yeah, okay. But moving back to this actual resolution, it's talking about having the student governments to host their own food pantries regularly and allocate 5 to 10% of their annual fiscal budget for the operation of food pantries, which is also not really specified, in order to ensure academic success. Okay, so that's where this resolution is. Does anybody want to say more about the resolution specifically? Okay, so then if you could vote yes or vote yes or no in the chat, yes or no food pantry. Hi. Okay, I'm seeing 2 votes, 3 votes.
Chair, just so you're aware, I have a con for the next one.
For the next resolution?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Then we will tally up these votes, or if really our wonderful director of communications could tally whatever votes come in. We'll move on to the next one, which is, oh yes, the Bill of Privileges. Okay. Jacob, since you expressed a con, or expressed wanting to express a con, go ahead.
So basically, it's saying that they want to create a bill of privileges, and it gives students the right to be in, ad hocs and all this good stuff. And, I think it's a good cause. However, the bill of privilege would just be like the exact same thing as our 9+1 rights. So that's our rights to be involved in all this different stuff. And so it'd just be them like reiterating the same thing, and it'd be a bunch of work for really nothing gained. And so I think it would not be a good use of time.
That is exactly what I put in my own notes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so if anybody else, pro or con. Okay, any questions on this Bill of Privileges resolution? Okay, hearing and seeing none, if you could vote yes or no for, you can call it BOP, Bill of Privileges. We'll move on to the next one when some of the votes have come in there. It looks like we're about halfway through. It's nice. Oh, okay, I just checked the time. Oh man.
So Naomi, a possible
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
proposed.
go ahead.
You could kind of do this. I know we got, how many are left? I know you said halfway, but I don't know how many total there are.
Oh, hang on. 1.03. Oops.
a lot, basically.
Yeah. So we were there. So we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, yeah, 15.
So two solutions, possibly. You could have another meeting like next week or something, or you could do a vote by email, proxy. Like, I'm fine with it. I would support it. I know some Brown Act people might be like, no, but as long as you open it up, you can do it on Discord. Honestly, because it's supporting resolutions, and then what you could do is at a Senate meeting before General Assembly, kind of go over like, I'm looking at this one, S210204 was approved. And then someone has the chance to object and say, are you all crazy? Or yay, good job. Like, I don't know. It's just possible solutions. This is uncharted territory. I'm just trying to come up with so that we're not on a Zoom for 3 hours.
Yeah, I actually really like that idea. I think we could either, as far as I see it, we could try to get as far as we get at within the time today, and then kind of wrap up the rest the way that you had suggested. We could go over everything that we did and just do it all over Discord, or we can end the meeting now and do the rest over Discord, or however we do it, proxy. So I'm open to whatever you guys want to do at this point. Okay, what I'm gonna say is, we're pretty close to end anyway. So what I'm gonna say is, we end the meeting now, and since we are missing a lot of members already, we'd basically be doing the same thing over again. So just basically kind of repeating this in a way via Discord. That's what I'm proposing. So
I think you might get more, sorry to interrupt, with email.
Go ahead, or email. Oh, I don't know about that. But I hope so.
Well, you can do both. However you want to tally them, right? Ultimately, you're getting at trying to tally,
Oh, I could do a Google form. Sorry. Okay.
There's multiple ways you could do it. Some might respond by email, some by Discord. But at the end of the day, everyone's saying, I support this one, I don't support this one. And then at a Senate meeting, you could have it on the agenda, right? With final proof. That way, anyone from public, board could speak up, and then you can make recommendations from there.
Yeah. I really like that idea. So I think, yeah. Well, if that's it, then if we've settled on doing that, again, I'm sorry for calling this meeting at all, really. But okay, let's see. Moving on to, we're just gonna halt this item then, and we're gonna move on to board member reports or announcements. If there are any board member reports or announcements. Okay. Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to public comment. Are there any public comments? Okay, hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to adjournment. This meeting is adjourned at 6:15 p.m. Thank you guys all for coming here. That was, yeah. Thank you for taking time on this Tuesday night to come and be here. Sorry that it kind of ended in a, no, sorry guys, it was a long day.
It's okay.
Class K MUN.
No worries, you're killing it, Naomi.
Hey Naomi, can I, when folks shuffle out, can I borrow you for like 2 minutes?
Yeah, okay, you know what? I'm going to leave with this other, okay. Yes.
Thanks, Naomi. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Amy, for taking notes and for being here. Oh, hang on, I gotta stop recording.
Oh yeah.